walking right at me.
Yeah, right. What in the world? What are you doing? Hi. What are you doing?
Oh yeah, human run.
Oh, what was that? It talked to me. Yeah, right. Oh, there's another one, baby. So we found this deer down in this hole, and it took quite a bit of hiking to get down in here where we could find it. Definitely a good spot to be a deer, but I think it may have spotted us first. Just had it a second ago. Found them again. There's actually 3. Well, as you guys can tell, we're trying again today. It's a new day, and the weather's still pretty poor. It's a little bit nicer today, but the rain came last night, about 1.5 inches of rain. So the deer are up and moving. We've already seen 5 deer this morning, but we're still looking for the elusive buck. The problem is we're seeing more hunters than deer. If you think 20 deer is a lot, that's nothing compared to 100 hunters. I don't know if you guys can see that through the binoculars, but there was actually 3 deer 150 yards below us. I think we woke them up when we, and I say we, I mean me, hobbled down here. 2 of them went down into the draw, and one's just standing there looking at us, so we're definitely on the deer. It's pretty exciting. What do you think? Beautiful duck. Well, brother spotted a few up in here, and they ran into the trees. So now we're trying to move them out into the open. And I know we've pushed them out there. Yep. Just a matter of how far will they get before we can see them. Probably will outrun us. Trying to get above my brother here. Yep. I'm looking right at their tracks. Right here. They came right up here. Right up there. See that? Right there. Looking. I don't see them. Well, I think those got away. I don't think we're going to catch them either. I think they went back down in the hole, and darn it. Good hike, though. Good hike. I suppose it's worth mentioning why we're seeing lots of deer and not shooting any of them. Each animal has a season, and right now, deer are in the rut, which is breeding season. And the way to control the deer population is to control the bucks. So right now, we're only allowed to shoot a buck. But since bucks like does, if you find a doe, there's a good chance you'll find a buck. In recent years, access to public lands has been restricted more and more. The effect is you have more and more hunters in a smaller and smaller area. So while there may be bucks out there, you either can't get to them or somebody already got them. Well, there's been lots of driving and lots of seeing hunters and very little seeing of deer. Although we did just find a couple. Things have been pretty quiet for several hours now. So we're going to head back to the spot where we were yesterday. It was a little bit busy there this morning. There was quite a few people camped out. So it's going to be late afternoon. Hopefully things will kind of start moving around again. I feel like everything's been kind of sleepy in the forest for a few hours. But it's been a beautiful drive, and here's hoping we pick up on something. Come on, buckaroo. Come on, buckaroo. No dice. Nada. All the deer are sleeping. They're sleeping. Maybe they're at a football game. Do deer go to football games? It's Sunday. Oh. Away they go. That's a good sign. Moving anyway, or something's moving. It's pretty tough to show you guys deer running across the road because by the time we see them, they're already long gone. And it takes longer to turn the camera on. Oh, yeah. I doubt you guys can even see that, but they're super adorable. Small baby. Up and about, just gonna say night. And where are the bucks at? Where are the bucks at? Same question everyone else is asking. Guys, I think this is kind of our final spot for the evening. We're gonna sit it out here, glass here for a while. Sounds like my brother's seen deer in this spot before. Of course, we just saw mom and a baby, so that increases the chances. It's definitely a good spot. We've got about half an hour before sunset, and I think we're allowed to hunt half an hour after sunset, so maybe have an hour left, something like that. So what I'm saying is, there's still a chance. I'm starting to think that they went to Sunday Night Football and pizza, because I get the feeling we're the only ones out here. Like they're not even around.
I didn't see any people anymore.
There's nothing. Not does, not fawns, not deer, not bears, not people. Yeah, that. So do they call this like the drive of shame? They call it hunting. Yeah. Down the mountain we go.
Beer 30.
Beer 30, I know. We didn't get any meat, but I sure want some meat. Does that count?
Deal, yeah.
That's true. Stereotypically, we'll now see deer all the way to the highway. Oh, never mind. There's people. All right, we're not alone. These people are also...
Probably scared off the deer.
Probably, yeah. These people are also exercising futility. Plus, their truck's a little muddier than ours, so there's that. There's the baby. That looks to me like a big line of unsuccessful hunters. Everybody's headed for the cheeseburger. Oh yeah, and in case you're wondering, yeah, the people behind us, they're also unsuccessful hunters. So we're among our people. Well guys, it's been a long trip. It's been fast, action-packed, got a lot done. Got to spend the morning with my dad going through the airplane and then kind of have an airplane chat, which is really fun. I think this trip was worthwhile. Timing was definitely rough, but it worked out for the better. And I'm definitely glad I took the time. It's really hard with building the house and all the things that Alyssa and I are doing. We just find that we don't have time for other things. But I guess the lesson is make time, right? I've had people tell me before, you never know when you're going to lose your parents, so appreciate them while they're around. So a good time with family. Got to see the extended family. So right now we're kind of in a holding pattern. The weather forecast for today is sketchy in the morning and slightly clearing up in the afternoon. But looking outside, man, I don't know. Definitely questionable. So we're kind of just holding right now. We're going to do some upkeep on the airplane, kind of take care of some housekeeping issues with this. We also picked up a bunch of survival items, so we're going to get those put away. And then we'll kind of check on the weather, and if everything's good, it's time to head home. Well, we're looking at the weather and it's changing quickly. We're just getting updates from the weather system that says yes, no, yes, yes, no, no, yes, no. And looking out the window, one way looks amazing. If you look a little that way, not so good. That way, way worse. So we're gonna kind of hang tight here. I think do some kind of troubleshooting with the plane and get up to speed with some of the instruments, some just housekeeping that I wanted to do before, and kind of hold tight, see if the weather clears up. They're saying it's going to dry out this afternoon, evening, and that could mean that we can make about half of our trip, at least get that far, and then worry about the rest tomorrow. And if it's a no-go, back to the hotel we go. For more bacon! Well, we've been kind of monkeying around with the airplane for a while, looking out the window, and our intuition's pretty good. Pretty good. It's looking pretty nasty out there. Just a lot of instability in the atmosphere and just not worth taking the risk. So I think we're going to go find some other trouble to get into this afternoon, and we're going to see what tomorrow morning looks like. It looks like tomorrow morning's going to be really foggy because all this rain we just got over the weekend. I mean, almost 3 inches of rain. It's going to all evaporate and make some low-level clouds, but once that burns off, I think we're looking at a beautiful day of flying tomorrow. They're a little heavy, yeah. They're a little heavy, yeah.
Yeah, a little heavier.
That way's good. Looking pretty good. That'll work.
There you are.
Thank you.
You gotcha.
It's our cue, guys. The weather's trying to be nice for the minute. Got a couple of cloud decks, nothing major. We're briefed on our flight there, and like good pilots, we'll make good decisions. And if it's not looking good when we get up there, we'll decide to do something else.
Well, you ready to go home?
I'm just ready to go somewhere different.
Oh. Well, I guess home will have to do.
Pretty sure I'm already getting allergies over here.
Really?
Okay.
Wow. Okay. We'll be taking runway 16 with a crosswind departure to the east, climbing to 7,500 Roseburg. Oil pressure's in the green, RPMs are good, mouthful pressure's good, airspeed's alive. Alright, we're climbing at 90. Can you go through a climb checklist for me?
Absolutely.
Alright, we are 2 hours en route. Timeout was about 1:20.
Remember the first time I flew out of Portland? See all these white peaks in the distance, you know? It's awesome. You want to go skiing already?
Yeah, right?
Snowboarding in your case, right?
Yeah.
I'll settle for a sled. I'd have more fun on the sled.
Okay, mixture's full rich. Fuel set to both cow flaps are closed. We'll bring in 10 degrees flaps and we'll bring our power out. Now we're looking for about 500 feet a minute. How's it look up the valley there?
It looks really good, actually. There's a nice gap there in the clouds.
We were 2 hours and 20 minutes. I think we had a little bit of time on climb out, climbing over the mountains over there that we didn't get back on descent. All right, avionics are going off.
Good deal.
All right, we got Anna home safe. Good flight. Kind of had to duck some clouds a little bit, but otherwise, all good. Get her topped off and then head for home. Thanks for going. Glad you got to join me.
Yeah,
got
nice
a new-
smooth flight, I think.
That was not bad. I got a
Going
new
and going.
co-pilot. She's all trained up on the radio, dealing with ATC, spotting clouds. It's my dad calling.
Yep.
Told ya. Well, have fun with that.
Cool. All right, guys. Anna's home safe. It's time to get me home safe. Be home with my family. They're on the approach. approach, clear in the pattern. I have a little bit of a left crosswind. We're clear. RPMs are good, oil pressure's good, manifold pressure's good, airspeed's alive. Seattle Center, Skylane, November 52337 with you at 5,500.
As our loyal followers will know, we're extremely busy people, and our life is pretty much overflowing with work, so there was never going to be a great time to make this trip. Being a pilot meant that I could travel on a moment's notice. When I woke up the day I left and saw that the weather was better than expected, something told me to go. When Alyssa and I moved to Idaho, we committed to living far from family. But we knew it'd be the best thing for our family. The price we pay is that seeing family isn't easy, but that doesn't make it any less important. Putting down my tools and walking away from the house was hard. Saying goodbye to Alyssa and setting out on a journey that would challenge my pilot abilities was scary. I can now say it was all worth it.
Traffic, Skylane 52337, 3 miles to the south at 5,500. We'll cross over midfield, transitioning to the north, Pullman.
Alright, we made it home, guys. It is pretty windy here, actually. Pretty variable wind. So that's the first time I've had to deal with wind at night. Usually at night it's really calm. So Alyssa's gonna be here soon, and she promised to take me to dinner. But I've got to pee, and we got to put the plane away. Then, supper.
Guess what came in the mail today? A red down blanket to match the plane. Yes, that was intentional. It's a little more maroon than red. The Costco website said it was like bright red. No. But this, I can tell you, if I was in the plane tonight, this would be all over my lap. Haven't found a pair of down pants yet. I'm sure they exist, but this is an absolute must-have in the plane. I didn't want to get like a bed blanket, you know?
Yeah, like a comforter.
I kind of did,
Yeah.
except they don't come in a little stuff sack.
Okay.
So,
Nice.
yeah, and I think it'll fluff up. But down to me is like the warmest.
Yeah. Trust me, we tested the heater on this trip.
Really?
It works.
Does it work?
Oh,
Sweet.
it works.
Anna was warm?
Yeah, she's too hot.
If Anna's warm, like she's the coldest of all of us.
Yeah, it was good. Probably just set it between that ladder in there. It'll work. Time for dinner?
Yeah.
Woo-wee. Let's see. I'll get the light real quick.